Uh, do you know what an otaku is?
An otako? I do not.
Otaku.
Otaku? I
Yeah.
do not.
A what?
An otaku.
No.
No. I do not.
No. No. No.
A what?
An otaku?
I do not. Oh, Otaku's a nerd, right?
I'm so happy! I'm so happy!
What do you think it is?
I have no idea.
Some type of Japanese food. Some type of animal, maybe?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Sounds Japanese.
A fan of something.
What does being an otaku mean to you?
It means being a big fan.
Well, the literal term of otaku means geek in Japanese. So I would go by that term. I am a geek, a nerd, however you want to pronounce it, so.
Someone who is obsessed with anime, but not more of a hobby than anything else.
While the term originates from the Japanese word for obsessed and typically refers to people who are addicted to something in general, otaku has come to be associated with people who are fans of anything related to Japanese culture, though more notably anime and manga. Do you know what anime is?
Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that like the cartoons?
Well, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a animation cartoon.
Japanese cartoons.
I watch one myself.
Alright, what titles do you watch?
I only watch one, basically.
What's that?
It's called Detective Conan.
Oh, good show. Anime, which is based on the Japanese pronunciation for the word animation, is not only cartoons that specifically come from Japan, but it also refers to a unique art style that is most prominent in modern Japanese art, that has become steadily popular in American cartoons. Aw, yeah, she's doodling! Yep, she was doodling. Or the Japanese equivalent to doodling.
Now once more together.
Doodling is doodling, no matter
What culture you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that was
So what makes anime different from American cartoons?
Most likely the animation and the differing budgets where with our cartoons I'd have to say we spend less of a budget than the Japanese do on theirs.
All I see is the art style, because there are adult cartoons in America as well as children cartoons in America, and anime is basically the same thing. It can range from little kids to adults as far as their storylines go. It's just a matter of the art that changes.
What makes them similar?
I'd have to say in today's world they're getting similar, they're becoming more similar due to the fact that we're adopting their zaniness, their out there, out of the box kind of creativity.
So what makes manga different from comics?
I have to say heavier on detail.
Very simple, like appreciation, the little details, like the turn of a head, just all the little nuances in little actions, whereas American comics tend to focus on the big picture. Like now they're coming out with Batman versus Superman. It's like, oh, should Superman be doing these things? Like, is he really a good person? And it's these big ideals. And in Japan, Japanese manga it is, but it starts off with something simple, like, should we kill bad guys in Death Note? But he's just writing in this notebook. It starts really simple, these little ideas.
Unlike American comics, which tend to have characters with realistic proportions and colored pages, manga is more stylistic, with extremely unrealistic characters that are drawn in black and white. The reason for this is that it saves on printing costs, And it also allows the different tones and emotions to show more clearly. What makes them similar then?
The character designs, that not repetitive, but that similar pattern of zaniness and creativity that you'd see in manga and anime. But in comics, we have almost a linear path to which it would be. So we've gone too far down the rabbit hole of, like, say, Marvel or DC and these, like, large universes that have been around for 60, 70 years. So, and anime and manga is much more recent. But other than that, you could probably find similarities, but other than that.
So when did you first become a otaku?
That's hard to say because you kind of gradually move in. I gradually move into being an otaku. Like, I would watch an anime here and there because it was on kids networks, but then, like, as you know more about the genre, like, you focus more on that genre. But I guess you could say that I didn't become, like, a full otaku maybe until late middle school.
Well, I grew up in Hawaii, and the anime culture there is very big. And the Japanese population is the largest ethnicity there, so there's a really big appreciation and understanding of that culture, and with it, the manga and anime. So I'd say since the first time I saw Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, just growing up, it just started then, and just all the bookstores, they would have anime and manga. Everyone would talk about it in school. If a main character died or something, everyone would be like the next day, oh my gosh, can you believe it? And so it's just really integrated there, but I think Hawaii is a rather special case.
I know I start off with a very adult anime, violent, and I was hooked immediately because at first I thought anime was just strictly Sailor Moon or just, like, cheesy stuff.
Yeah, kids things.
And then it just opened my eyes to the possibilities of just a wide variety of entertainment.
Has being an otaku affected your social life in any way?
Perhaps sometimes you stay at home and watch marathons, or you're looking for a common ground to talk to someone about and they don't know it as well as you. You kind of say, oh, you have to watch 3 seasons and then we can have this conversation. But I think there's so many people today that are interested in anime and manga that it's not too big of a problem.
Mm-hmm. Did it affect, like, school or work or any?
Not for me. It didn't. Perhaps maybe a couple projects when there's you kind of just say, no, I'm going to procrastinate, and you go watch a couple seasons or you go and talk to your friends about it. But overall, no.
No, not necessarily. It's just a more specified social life than what other people do, that they talk about everything. But for my social group, we mostly talk about anime.
Not very much. I've been slowing down recently and trying to keep up, but with friends and family, most of the time I try to convert my friends, and my family barely has any acknowledgement of what anime is, so there's that.
So he's from your family?
Wait, we gotta do the advertisement thing.
Generic brand lemon lime. Product placement for a generic.
Lemon lime, if you want us for stopping your friends everywhere. Do you think otakus are misunderstood?
Well,
let me ask you this. Do you think, if there is some kind of misunderstanding, is it because of how otakus behave, with the obsession of different aspects of Japanese culture, or is it what they watch that's misunderstood? Or read, for that matter.
Well, I think it's a little of both, because there will be people who don't understand the otaku lifestyle, and then there are people who look at anime and mangas and see them just simply as cartoons.
Most likely from how they behave, what they wear, their kind of clothing choices. If they go and dress up as a character on any other day, people will think that's quite strange.
I think sometimes they are. It depends on who you talk to, and people's opinions, it varies all over. But some people who know what otaku is, they say, oh, it's just this incredible fan person. And it's like, well, it's actually that they love this thing and they're interested in it. And there's so much you can learn from manga, these little subtleties, these big ideas and everything. But I do feel like, yes, overall they are misunderstood. In America, at least, when they think of cartoons, they think of, oh, Disney, Frozen, all these really happy stories. And then, of course, they might, if they pause, they might say, oh yeah, Family Guy, all these things, more South Park, more adult ones. Whereas in Japan, anime, it can be anything from Doraemon to something very graphic like Attack on Titan. You have every now and then you hear a story of an adult saying, oh, there's an anime in the movie theater, I'm going to take my kids, and they don't realize that these things are rated PG-13 or R.
So do you think otakus have achieved the same amount of fame as other subcultures like Trekkies or gamers?
I don't believe so.
They're rising, but not at that level yet. I'd say that Trekkies are still thriving, and it's just a matter of time until there's enough acknowledgement of them.
I don't think it's quite equal, that it's not there, but there is a appreciation and knowledge of it. But I feel if you know where to go and know where to look, they would consider that it is equal. I think it depends who you talk to.